Hi there. Let's talk about the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. You know, that is one of the favorite aspects of the Swiss Family Robinson story. People can imagine and would love to live in a huge and gigantic treehouse that they had built. It's beautiful. And so I just wanted in this video to share with you a little bit about the treehouse, but not just the treehouse, also the other living establishments that they had created. You see, when they first became shipwrecked, they lived near the beach and they called that location Tentholm. And home means house in German. You remember the original book was first written in German and later translated into English. And so they called that area near the beach Tentholm. They then wandered inland and they found this area that had these beautiful and huge trunk trees. And they ended up creating their main family establishment and building the treehouse in this place they called Falconhurst, right? For Falconhurst as well, and kind of the same idea. And then they also created, because they learned early on that when the rainy season would come and the winds would blow, the trees would sway a little bit. And at one point in the early editions of the book, the antique versions, I don't know if they're in the later renditions of the book or not, but in the early editions, Mother slipped and hurt herself. And it was then that they began looking for somewhere else to live during those crazy and tough months when the wind would blow and the rain would come down strong. And they ended up finding a place that they called the Grotto. And it was a cave that when they first broke through into this cave as they were chiseling one day, they thought it was a cave full of diamonds, but it actually became a cave of salt rock. And they ended up building the most beautiful, if you will, almost like a hotel. They built this beautiful family establishment, those 2 or 3 months out of the year that they would live. I mean, they actually created out of natural resources, they actually created a carpet in there. And there were other beautiful things. You'll have to read the book when it comes out. You'll have to read the book to find out exactly what all was included in the grotto, but it's a pretty cool place. But let's get back to the treehouse. You know, the treehouse is exciting. The most memorable part, I think, of Swiss Family Robinson, the story, is the treehouse. People can envision and would love to live in such a beautiful treehouse that they were fortunate to create. So let's talk about the details of that for just a second. When they first found the treehouse, when they walked inland and they saw these huge trees, they started throwing rocks up above. And what they noticed was that on one of the trees, the rocks would fall down and there was a hollow sound. And so they got creative. They climbed the tree, they looked down, and they told Father that the tree was actually hollow. And so what they did, and this is where they built the first and original treehouse, they actually cut a hole in the trunk like a door, and they built a staircase, circular staircase, all the way to the top, to the living room floor. And then they actually put some windows in. They pulled some windows from the wreckage of the ship, and they put some windows in to create some light in the trunk. And then they built their beautiful treehouse, and it was gigantic, a beautiful treehouse with a main living area, dining room, upper rooms, and so forth. And it was beautiful. But my story begins 15 years after the family have been living on the island. And so the family grows. You know, Fritz and Jenny actually have 3 children, Nicholas, Jacob, and baby Anne. And they began to build their house on an adjacent huge tree, and they connected the two with a rope bridge. And here you can see a picture of what my artist drew based on my idea of what that would have looked like at the time. They were amazing at making do with what they had, and not just surviving, but thriving. And I share how they went about building it. I share a number of aspects about, the establishment area. There was a guest house. There was a couple other things that they had built at the ground level. And I share all that in the book. So when it comes out, I look forward to having you read it and you can find out more about it. But I thought it'd be interesting just to share a little bit about that beautiful treehouse that they built and show you a little picture of it. All right. Hey, listen, if you like this video, if you found it to be interesting, leave a comment. Maybe go to my Facebook page, like it if you will. all right? Listen, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Until then, I wish you the very best. Bye for now.